Also very important, I think, is this. In the emails that go back to our clients, we highlight the fact that having the manuscript edited by Edanz is not a requirement for submission to BMC. It's not a requirement and will not guarantee publication success. But what we do guarantee to our authors is that the language of their paper, language is not getting in the way of the science being understood. I think that's very important, that journal editors will be able to see whether it's good or bad, whether it's suitable or not, but the language will not be a barrier. We try to overcome that barrier, and it's part of the work we do. Central to how we deal with manuscripts is our 2 rounds of editing. Now, after 16 years of editing experience, we understand that 1 round of editing of a manuscript is quite often not sufficient to bring the language and the clarity to the paper. Therefore, we've instituted a double round of editing. During the first round, editors can make comments, can question the author. This is not clear, whatever. We write a series of comments using different tools within Word. The author gets the paper back. They can address these comments. They can make their own comments, like if something they don't understand, the change we made is not perhaps correct. We go out of our way to make sure that we don't change the science. We're interested in getting the language clarity. So the paper, the manuscript, is always the author's manuscript. It's not ours, it's not yours, it's the author's. When necessary, if there's some communication problem, and some of the language we receive is really bad language, it's difficult to get through. I'm sure some of your editors have papers where you just didn't know what was going on. Well, sometimes an author can't communicate even what they're trying to say clearly several ways in English. So they can put it in their native language, the Chinese or Japanese. And we have in-house translators that try to facilitate some communication between the author and our editor, so that our editor can bring the language of the paper up to correctly express the author's findings. And the editing of the paper doesn't just stop with our frontline science and language editors. We have teams of in-house quality control and language editors who make sure that even our frontline editors have got it right. So there's a whole series of language checks before the paper goes back to an author and before it's submitted to the journals running in the century. And unlike a lot of other services like ours in the business, both rounds of our editing come within the same general fee. Our system of editing and the quality of what we do will be recognized, and we are trusted by many publishers, of course, Biomed Central, but also we work with the American Institute of Physics. We have an ongoing program with Springer, other ACS. But probably quite interesting is our work in China. We are recommended and work with the journals of the Chinese Medical Association. We do the editing for their journals. We are recommended to their potential authors by the Chinese Medical Association. But really interestingly is our work with Science China Press. They are the publishing house for the Chinese Academy of Sciences, probably the most prestigious publishing house in China. We undertake all of their post-acceptance editing. That was quite an honor. It took 4 years of discussions and quality checks from their side about what we do. And it shows the extent to which Edanz is embedded in China. And China is the big problem in the STM industry when it comes to quality of paper. And I'd like to lead into a little bit about what else Edanz does as a company. And another reason why I think Biomed Central and Edanz are working together is right from the beginning, we have run a series of community outreach programs. We take training programs into the universities, the institutes, we run seminars to try and teach young authors and even current authors how to write a world-class manuscript, how to get published. Now, Benjamin will expand on the various topics that we touch, but our outreach training program is one of the major characteristics. It's who we are and what we do for the community. We don't just take things as a commercial enterprise. We feed back into our community of scientists. Tokyo University manuscript, Chinese university journals and natural scientists. We were even in Saudi Arabia last month at Springer. We ran 3 training seminars at Saudi University. We have a standard program. It's a 2-hour training program. It has a lot of materials, there are takeaway CDs. We give lots of tools to authors. But also, we run full-day training seminars and 2- and 3-day educational programs in Japanese universities, teaching young PhD students, even postdocs, how to write, the ethics of publication, what it is to be part of the scientific community and publish your results. Very central to what we do, and something that we'll be doing with Biomed Central in China, hopefully in Japan and other parts of the world in the future. And our training program is unique. We were the first people to go out into the universities and run these free training programs. It's something Benjamin and I identified right from the beginning was essential to being a player in China. And it's really what our company in China is recognized for is our training programs. We've started to present at major international conferences as well, running our own training programs about how to write. We know a lot of non-native speaking English scientists attend Congress, so we go along and run our own training seminars. We were at Neuroscience 2010 last year, and we actually had a panel discussion, the panelists from Neuron Neuroscience, Nature Neuroscience, Public Library of Science Biology, and mainly another organization Benjamin will talk about. The room was filled with 300 people. What happened was the fire wardens came and closed the doors, and people turned away, including Deborah. She couldn't get in. It was too late. That was the level of interest in what we do. So this year, I'm sure we'll have a much larger room and Deborah will be able to get in this year. So this is what we do. This is who we are. Our training program is being, if you like, engineered by Dan McGowan. He's our group science director. He's an ex-editor, Nature Reviews Neuroscience. But he's been behind our training program. He's presented probably over 40 himself. But today he has a team of 5 presenters. Dr. Ray is one of them. He's our senior editor in our Japan office. And we have a group of senior editors, in-house senior editors in different areas of science. And they overlook a team of external editors and control of their training programs, the quality, and feeding back through to our external editor teams. And they are at the center of our training programs about how to write, how to get published. Now, I think Benjamin is going to come up and we'll take you through a little bit about the Chinese presentations. But this is what authors take away. This is what we aim for. We try to get into the minds of these young scientists the sense of the culture surrounding scientific communication. We hope to engender a positive attitude to peer review, something that a lot of young scientists don't understand and are a little bit afraid of. We try to bring about the positive aspects of that. And we give them the skills for publication success. So, Ben, if you want to take over.
Good morning. It's really good to be here, and I hope this is just the beginning of what will be a long and close relationship with Biomed Central and its journals.